Let the bass kick.
And what up, everybody? Sneak attack. We weren't expecting this tonight, but, yes, you are not tripping. It is not Monday, and this is the Music City Disc Golf Podcast, but not an official episode today. We're just, I had an opportunity come up that I could not miss. So everybody, welcome to the show, Mr. Ron Convers and Scott Stokely. What's up, guys?
What's up, man?
We're here for a very special reason. You guys have agreed to a grudge match of sorts, kind of an exhibition that will be raising some money for a great cause, and it just seems to get more and more star-studded as time goes on. I'm seeing all the cool, entertaining trash-talking videos. You guys really appear to not get along incredibly well, which is great for the hype. So, for everybody that has not already seen anything about this on the internet, Ron, why don't you tell us from your perspective how this all came about?
Wow. Okay. So, man, I'm not the one.
Okay. Well, we can start with Scott. We can start with Scott. Right. Scott's definitely the one that likes to talk out of this group, other than me, so.
Sure. I'm happy to share. So the idea is that, I mean, everybody in some form or another is dealing with this whole pandemic thing. And there's nothing we can do to help people medically or scientifically. But Ron and I were talking about what things we can do to help. And one of the things that it's a real issue is people facing financial problems, right? I mean, that's a real thing. It's almost not PC to talk about those issues because people are dying. But it's a real thing. But more important for us, it's something we can actually help with. So I had done a charity match against Jeremy Colling about 4 or 5 years ago where we raised $10,000 for a little girl. And I said, we could do this exact same thing. And I said, who do I hate the most in the entire world? Well, Hitler's already dead. And so, Genghis Khan's gone. Stalin's dead. Ron Convers. Perfect. Ron Convers. I said, why don't I see if Ron wants to have a match to raise money, and we would give 100% of the money we raised to families affected by COVID-19. So the idea is, and this is just the format we did before, is that on June 6th, Ron and I are going to play one round of golf at the Lodge in Oklahoma. It's going to be refereed by 2009 world champion Avery Jenkins, who's volunteered to oversee the whole financial part of this. And he's actually been working his butt off to do a lot of the stuff behind the scenes. We're going to have all the fun. Avery's doing half the work. And anybody that wants to is going to wager on the outcome of our match. We're not asking for donations because typically people don't like to donate, but everyone likes to gamble, right? So what you do is you're going to go down to, there's a GoFundMe page set up. And what you'll do is you'll make a specified, they call it donations, it's GoFundMe, but you're going to make a specified amount, and you're going to pick which one of us, Ron or I, is going to win our match. By the way, just so you know. But hypothetically, you can choose Ron too. You can choose which one of us is going to win by how many strokes. And if you choose correctly, the correct outcome of the match, we got a whole bunch of prizes that are going to be donated, and the prizes are coming in. We got Dynamic Discs is donating prizes. Ron can tell you more about some of the sponsors that he's been getting on board. Costa Plus has gotten behind it. We got some custom discs that are going to be autographed, that are going to be going out to the winners who pick correctly. An autographed copy of my autobiography is going to go out to everybody who picks correctly. Disc Golf Over Everything just contacted me. I don't know what they're doing, but they're on board. So the whole idea is it's a fun way to raise money. And our goal is to raise $20,000. And if we can do this, well, we're going to write out as many $1,000 checks as we can to families affected by this. So if we raise $17,000, we're going to write out 17 checks, $1,000 each for families that could benefit from this.
That's really, really cool. I know one of the big things, I mean, obviously everybody's having a hard time with this pandemic and the shutdown and everything for a lot of different reasons and in many different ways. But one thing that is universal between everybody is that we're all feeling a negative economic impact from this, whether it's you haven't been able to go to work and you're behind on bills, or you're a business person that's been highly successful for years and years and years. I know here in Nashville there are some very well-established restaurants that are near bankruptcy. Major parts of our community, and it's a scary time for everybody. I mean, especially you talk about a niche market like disc golf. Even our most established companies, our biggest manufacturers, there were questionable times, right at the beginning of this when the full scope of the shutdown became apparent. I think everybody kind of looked at it. Everybody that's in business and disc golf looked at it like, what are we going to be okay? Are we going to survive this?
Yeah, and Ron and I talked about this, and what Ron's take was, I thought it was really smart, even though I hate him, let's be clear, but I thought he was spot on, is that $1,000 isn't life-changing, but $1,000 is enough where it makes a dent. It keeps the creditors at bay for another month. It buys groceries. Like, it's enough money where as many families as we can do this for, like, it is a difference-making amount of money.
Now, let's be clear. Wait a minute. Because I really do think that $1,000 at the right time can be life-changing. If you're in the right spot and you give somebody $1,000, you made a difference. I mean, to some folks, that's going to be everything from keeping the wolf from the door. I mean, that's where it's at.
Yeah, I mean, especially you talk about in these days in America, I forget what the current estimate is, but everybody is theoretically like 3 paychecks away from homelessness.
Right.
I mean, I've seen guys that, like, I had a friend back in Albuquerque that was in insurance. He had his own insurance firm that he operated and was doing real well for himself. Had a nice apartment, nice car, and had a problem with his car and wasn't able to pay to get it out of the shop. Missed a bunch of meetings. Business took a turn. His lease came up on his apartment. Couldn't afford to renew it. And then before you know it, he's in a Roach Motel on Central Avenue in Albuquerque.
Yeah, I'll give the nod to Ron on this one. I misspoke when I said it's not life-changing. Ron's correct. I mean, in the right situation, it's a big deal. And I agree that everybody's been affected. Ron and I are both in fortunate positions, and this is probably why I think we have an interest in doing this, is we're all affected, but there's people that are suffering worse. Like, we're going to be fine. And so to be able to give back when we've been kind of lucky, like, who's to say, like, we dodged a bullet here in some ways, but next time it could be us. And so we're in a position to do it, and so we will.
I've found it really interesting, at the start of all this, when everybody was told they had to close up shop and stay at home, in a situation like that, you can kind of take stock of the landscape and make your assumptions and your estimations on, who's going to be okay and who's in the most risk financially and why. And it seemed, honestly, it's been really unpredictable to see who's going to be able to, like, float through successfully. I mean, obviously your level of creativity and thought on stuff is the deciding factor there, but there's been some smaller retailers that have been able to, come up with some nifty ideas to, like, generate interest in an activity and attach some merchandise to it and establish a name for themselves. I mean, disc golf in general, by all accounts, it seems like disc golf is not slowing down. It's growing just as fast, if not faster, because of the quarantine. Like, you're seeing more people pick it up as a reason or a way to get outside and get some exercise.
Well, I think go ahead, Ron. No,
I think there's a lot more interest recreationally. Obviously, it's had a huge impact on our season as far as competitors and being able to go out and play in large groups. That's one of those tough ones. But for a family to be able to go out and just grab some discs and go and have a nice day in the afternoon, playing in the sun, it's inexpensive, and it's been a good year for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Now, what I don't know is are the disc golf pro shops the ones that are required to shut down because they're non-essential? I mean, disc golf pro shops are virtually all a labor of love. I mean, these are not people sitting on piles of money who are riding this thing out. I mean, so there are going to be businesses that are affected by it. And I know that, well, I heard from a manufacturer, I don't want to speak for them, but I heard from them firsthand that they are really struggling because, I mean, a large volume doesn't mean a large profit. You can have a large volume, but still be a month due income away from, being in the red. So it could be misleading how well we're doing. So individually in businesses, certainly there's going to be some that are going to be struggling for sure.
Yeah, I can say for the Nashville Disc Golf Store, here in Nashville, this has been, and it's, everybody keeps throwing around the term silver lining, but one of the positives that's come out of this, I mean, for years, our pro shop, the Nashville Disc Golf Store, Sean Groton has run that and been very, very hands-on and had his hands in a lot of pies trying to make sure that the bottom line is met. He runs a series of tournaments throughout the year that are very well attended, very popular, and he does a lot of things to generate more business for the store. And they've never really had any kind of online functionality. They didn't have a web store that you could purchase through or provide credit through and things like that. They've done all of our amateur payout for our bag tags and stuff for a number of years. But as this all happened and came down that they were going to be required to close up shop, now they have a fully functioning web store. Their full inventory is on there, and they've been doing really well through that. They just recently, within the last couple of days, opened back up and went back to normal hours. But
yeah, well, there's definitely some people that have been creative and have turned lemon into lemonade or whatever cliche you want to give it. But there are people that are definitely in positions where all the creativity in the world isn't going to help them a damn bit of good with what they do.
Yeah.
So for them, that's kind of what this is going to be for. I mean, it's for anybody, of course. But it's just like I said, and part of it's just, I think, and I could probably speak for Ron and Avery, is that you want to do something. And this is something that I can do. I can't personally write out checks, but I have a social media following, and I can take advantage of that. Ron, same thing. Like, this is something we can do, so we'll do it.
Now, how did Avery get into the mix? Is it just because of geographical convenience? You guys are all kind of in the same geographical region. Was it something you guys have been brainstorming together for a while?
No. No. Ron and I hate each other, and if we get in the same within proximity, we're going to come to blows. And you might not know this, but Avery's a pretty big guy, so pretty much
he's got nice calves. Like, his calf muscles are impressive.
So Avery, we picked the biggest guy we could find to keep us from punching each other in the face before the round starts. That's seriously how. Is that fair, Ron?
Fair enough.
Sounds fair to me. It also helps that he lives on the ranch where we're going to play. That helped too.
Yeah, it took me a little bit to catch on to the fact that this was going to be on his private course. Well, I don't know how private it is, but it's on his home property.
It's private. It actually belongs to Jim Taylor. It's the lodge in Pawhuska, and it's a darn nice facility. He's got 2 courses, some rental houses and things like that. And yeah, I was smart enough to book the cabin. Sorry, Scott. But anyway, so you can rent it out and then play the courses. One is the Island course was designed by Kevin McCoy some years ago, and Jim Taylor asked what he wanted to build the course, and at the time, I don't know if he still does, but at the time he had a tremendous amount of equipment, and one of the things that Kevin wanted to do was put an island in the middle of a big pond, put a bridge to it so you could make your shot like a 250-foot shot, and then walk across a bridge to the middle of a pond and get your disc if you made the shot. And so Jim took his machinery and built an island, and then made a nice bridge over to it. And it's sort of it, it's definitely one of the more imaginative things I've seen on a course from just the standpoint of somebody saying, "Oh, okay, I can build that for you tomorrow." But the course we're going to play on is Moccasin Creek, and it was considered a much more difficult course. I know it's longer, plays all through the limestone canyons that he's got on his property on the backside, and there's a creek that runs all the way through it that has water in it. I think it plays across a couple ponds, up and down a ridge, and across some fields. It's a big course.
Man, that
So
sounds
anyway,
phenomenal.
it's not bad at all. They've had an A tier out there. We've had a number of B tiers in the past. I haven't been there in probably 5 years because I've been so busy running every which direction, and the course has been changed since I played it last. I guess they had a problem with a couple of holes that were on a border fence. The neighbor didn't like all the errant throws, and so they had to redirect a little bit. But it's from all accounts still very challenging. I plan on seeing it soon and checking it out and getting a little bit a head start on my competition, as it were.
Yeah, I remember when Ron first told me, he says, Scott, we're talking about where to do the match, and Ron says, I want to play it on this really long course. And I just, of course, busted up laughing because that would be foolish on his part to compete against me on a long course. So I was like, seriously, Ron, what course do you want to play? And he says, no, there's this really long course at the lodge. And I started laughing, and it probably took me, I don't know, a good 2 or 3 days before I realized he actually wanted to play me on a long course. Like, he was serious.
Well,
he did go to Oklahoma State.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just going to say, you have a big arm, but Mr. Ron is no joke. He's got a couple world championships on him, and he's this is like Captain America versus the Red Skull, or I think we talked before we were on the air. This feels very much like WWE Raw, or the SmackDown that used to happen, where you've got the heel, like the NWO Hulk Hogan versus Sting, or the Ultimate War. Is this a Chris Alto promotion? Is he behind a curtain pulling strings on this somewhere?
No, I can't. Chris Alto's betting on Ron. Like, I hate that.
I saw that. Yeah.
Chris Alto's got smart money.
Really?
Them Antarctic and pesos.
Hey, let me tell you something about Ron. You want to talk about being smart or lack thereof? Ron thinks just because he won the world championships 3 times that means he has 3 world titles. Figure that out.
Hey, it's all good. I think honestly, I think I won one of the B tiers at the lodge against a pretty good field of open players a couple years ago. I can't remember who was there.
Well, clearly.
But I know you were out of practice at the time, but I'm no stranger to the upper levels of competition, and I'm pretty sure I can take your ass and beat you down on this course. So, not
Ron,
a problem.
Don't be so hard on yourself. You're being way too hard on yourself. You're definitely a stranger to the upper levels of competition.
Nice. That's all right, Scott. I know, like I said, I know you take.
Careful, guys. Avery's not here. We don't want this to come to fisticuffs. This is a family program.
I found a trophy the other day. I'll shoot a picture of it up. I think it was one. They give you a basket now whenever you win the world championship. But second place, I got a second place one of those years. And they give you this little midget basket that says second place across it. And I was thinking about just getting it ready to give to Scott. I thought he'd appreciate it.
First off, it's not, I've been clear about this. All those years I got beat by Climo, I never once finished second place. I instead won a whole bunch of silver medals.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I can paint the silver, but it'll still say second place.
Zing. Oh, sick.
Oh, God.
Sick burn, Ron.
So anyway.
There's literally nobody I hate more on this planet than Ron Convers. Like, he's the worst.
I mean,
Let's talk
I feel
about
so bad.
because
I feel
I
so
want to get
bad.
that before I get wrapped up in talking crap about Scott, because it's just too easy. I wanted to go ahead and say a few things about our other sponsors that I've been involved with.
yes, sir. Please do.
Obviously, Dynamic Discs is getting behind this, and I also talked to a really nice gentleman by the name of Dennis Voschholtz, who has a company out of uh, Harrington, Kansas, called Discs Unlimited. He'll be doing some sponsorship, as will his other company, Millennium Discs. Uh, I shot 20 putters off to a great guy up in Pratt, Kansas, a gentleman by the name of Jason Winkle, and he did some work for me. The discs are amazing. I will put a video up of them soon. I just got them back, and I've got some discs hopefully going to be printed up. I still need to do the details, but there'll be 20 or 10 Raiders and 10 crap, I went blank. Anyway, 10 other discs that are going to be going out to
They're all good.
get printed by DD that I had ordered, and that's where I'm at. I'm still looking for hopefully some more sponsorship. Anybody that would like to get on board and get a little bit of advertising, get at us.
Absolutely.
We'd be more than happy to help.
We will definitely.
Absolutely. And I'll just a little.
No, go for it,
Scott. A
Scott.
little more detail. Yeah, just so Costaplast. Well, first off, I'm donating, and Avery and Ron are also donating out of their own personal collection things as well. So, but I'm donating. Every single person is going to get a copy of my autobiography, the first and I believe only autobiography in disc golf, and you get an autographed copy of that if you pick correctly. Also, Costaplast made these amazing discs that they have also donated and shipped all the way from Sweden just for this event. So you'll get one of these. And RPM, I didn't even tell Ron this yet. RPM Discs is going to do some custom discs for us as well. I'm out of New Zealand. They're going to make a donation.
Good.
So the people are getting on board. Like, when you win, you're going to clean up. Like I said, it's a donation. It's a good cause, but it's also putting down $20 or $40 and like winning a whole bunch of cool stuff too. Like, stuff matters. So, yeah.
If you're into collectibles, I want you to think about this. There's not going to be too many editions of a Scott Stokely book with a Ron Convers and Avery Jenkins signature in them. That's just the way it is.
That's very
they'll
true.
Be the only, they'll be the only one. No, this is.
I'm used to him signing my stuff. It's all good.
Hey, Ron, you remember when you signed my chest a couple years ago? Oh wait,
that was with a Sharpie, right?
Yeah.
That was at Am Worlds? You were just before those two girls, right?
Ron's spitting fire today.
Dude, this is great. Oh man, this is so much fun.
So I heard that everybody in the state of Oklahoma is going to show up to watch the event, like all 13 people. So he'll have some Sooners fans.
Yeah, Oklahoma gets serious about their football. I don't know how they are about, in terms of their rivalry followings of disc golf. I mean, this is definitely one for the ages. It's a good thing Avery's there to keep you guys from tearing each other apart.
So here's the funny thing, because I've been watching the college football playoffs the last couple of years. And I mean, Ron was giving me crap about always finishing second place to Climo. So you could say the Oklahoma Sooners are the Scott Stokely of college football.
That's just wrong. They got a lot more class than that.
You know what? I'll tell you. Here's what I told everybody. This is a standing offer. If the Oklahoma Sooners fans want to shut me up, here's all they got to do. If Ron gets to $2,000 in wagers on him before he gets to $2,000 on me, if that happens, I will not say a single other word about Oklahoma Sooners football and I'll wear an Oklahoma Sooners jersey during our match. But if the first $2,000 gets wagered on me or before it wagered on Ron, it's game on.
All right, guys, you heard that, and I'm sure that you could probably provide us with a nice jersey for Scott to wear. So, come on, let's get it. It's about time for us to show up.
Yeah, if you get it extra small, you can see my rock hard 6-pack abs.
So, fit your shoulders too, right?
What?
Fit your shoulders too, right?
Oh my God.
Oh man, I thought for sure, Scott, you were going to edge him out on the trash talking side of this thing. If this is the way in, you're in trouble. For everybody that's just tuning in, don't know what's going on, we're here with Ron Convers and Scott Stokely. And we're talking about the grudge match that they're going to be having against each other for charity. They're going to be raising money for folks that have been economically impacted by the coronavirus pandemic and the shutdown, people that have been out of work, whoever needs it. So there is a GoFundMe page. If you're watching live on Facebook, I just posted the link to the GoFundMe in the chat. So please remember, this is not a donation. You're actually betting on who you think is going to win. And there's, strokes differences and all that stuff involved here. So, and there's going to be prizes galore, and they're going to be giving out $1,000 checks to whoever possibly could benefit from them. That's another good question. I know I have seen in the advertisements online that Avery is not only going to be standing between you guys with his arms out, making sure you don't violate social distancing regulations, but I understand he's handling the money. Is he also is there a application process that people can look into if they are needing some help from this? How does somebody nominate somebody for some assistance through this?
Yeah, so this is going to be the hardest part for. We're going to decide, the three of us together, and we'll be announced as we get closer. But basically, if you or somebody you know could benefit from us, just write us a couple paragraphs. We'll give you all the information, and then we're going to make a hard decision, because I assume we'll probably get more people writing in than we can give the money out to. If we can't figure it out, we'll draw cards or something. But we'll look at the certain situations, and if there's some that stand out, we'll certainly choose them first. But this is not going to be. This will be the least fun part, which will be saying no to somebody.
Yeah.
But we're going to do our best. But it'll be the three of us.
Hopefully it will be easy as a group for us to make the decisions that we make. I don't, what we want is obviously the information of why you think these folks should be benefiting, what circumstances they're in at this point, as well as their contact information, so that we can check up on it. And then we'll have to try and, it's going to take a lot of looking, but I would imagine there'll be some standouts where we'll immediately be able to say, oh yeah, these guys need our help now. I'm hoping that, obviously the ones that are easiest to see are going to be the ones that benefit the most from our, the money we can raise.
So,
yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, for the nominations for this and that kind of thing, is there a preferred venue to leave those comments and send those messages, like Facebook messages, okay? Or is there an email address folks can use?
Yeah, we're going to be posting an email address. We're going to have that come in privately. We don't want anybody having to put themselves out publicly.
Yeah.
It would come in privately. So we'll post an email address when we get up to about a week before. But yeah, and then ultimately Avery will be cutting the check. So he's Avery's doing a lot of work behind the scenes. Like I said, we're going to get all the credit and all the fun, but Avery's is working hard. And the lodges, they're putting this on. So
I know I saw there was kind of a placeholder date on one of the flyers I saw, but specifically it's basically said that this will go down. The Rumble will go down when quarantine is lifted.
Oh no, we got a date, June 6th.
June 6th. Okay, I missed that part.
Yeah,
June 6th. That's coming up quick.
Yeah, we're
Yep.
like 3 weeks away. We're and it's going to be we have a 10 a.m. We're going to be going live, and I will be announcing that. We're confirming it right now, but this is going to be broadcast live on the internet, and the video will be posted. I talked to a production company today, but I don't want to say anything because until you finalize something. But we're a couple days out from announcing that. The As of right now, we'll be teeing off at 11 a.m., but we're going to go live at 10 a.m. We'll be doing interviews, some trash talking, giving people about an hour where we can basically push them into getting their bets down, and then post times at 11.
That'll be the way. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I would say about 1:15 or 1:20 is when I beat Ron.
I think it's going to take longer for us to walk around the course before I can get my trophy.
Yeah, and then do the victory lap.
Yeah. My wife told me I should break into a happy dance when I get done.
Wait, be careful what you say. At Ron's age, if he does a victory lap, his heart will explode.
I don't know. I think when they wrote up the last few worlds, they told me that the final 9 was just sort of a victory lap. So I'm sort of looking for, around the same sort of deal. We'll see how it goes.
Do you know that Ron is closer to 110 years old than he is to his birth?
It is true that I am no longer in the bottom tier of the 50s. I'll be 58 this year. Really sort of weird. Fortunately, I'm still 1,000 and something else rated. Have been for quite a while. Are you still up there, Scott? Anyway, yeah, I'm sort of blessed by keeping my skills for a long time.
Well, I mean, and you're in rock solid shape too. I mean, the road has not been unfair to you. I mean, you do obviously right before we got on here. You're out in your yard. You've been building fences and planting a garden, and I'm sure you're. Have you been at work?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, we had a weird deal at work where I was laid off for 3 weeks, and because of the weird economic situation in my state, I actually made more money laid off than I did while I was working. And my employer was cool enough that they paid my insurance, so I didn't have to worry about having health insurance. And when we went back after 3 weeks, um, the orders were there and we were working our ass off. But in between, I got the longest break that I've had to spend with my wife. I'm really blessed with this weird break we've had. The other thing it gave me plenty of time to practice. And typically, I jump right into the season I just go straight into competition, and I'll have the weekends off. But because I work, I won't be able to really spend as many quality days, practicing. And this has been really pleasant. I got a lot of hours in, and yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about it.
that's been something that I've noticed, man, and I definitely can echo that sentiment. Definitely the longest break I've had. I mean, I always look forward to late April every year because I get to go to Kansas for a week, and that's like my vacation, even though I work while I'm there. But it's I got a month, maybe a little over a month off of work and my wife has been working from home, so just like you said, we haven't spent that much time together, probably 5 years, and there are benefits to slowing down, taking some time to reassess everything. I mean, we're routine driven creatures, and we can get hung up on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Did we lose Ron?
Did we lose Ron?
It looks like we might have. Says he's still in the room.
Oh my God! Then let's talk. Yeah, if we lost him, let's talk about him. Boy, do I got some stories to share. Oh my God.
Well, let us know. Yeah, it looks like we might have lost him. No, there he is.
Gone.
Hey, you're back
for a second.
What were you saying, Ron?
Yeah, exactly. Where were we?
Where were we?
No,
You wouldn't believe what Scott was saying while you were gone. He totally.
No, what I said when Ron disappeared, my first thought was, at his age, like you have to worry a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah, so I know you mentioned you will have some media coverage going on, and I totally understand you can't release any details while it's still not confirmed. But is it somebody that people are going to know and recognize? Is it somebody that we're used to watching for tournaments?
Yeah,
and stuff?
There's some amazing large companies out there, but there's some smaller guys that are absolutely killing it as well. And so I don't want to say anymore because that always backfires on you. But yeah, no, they're a good company. And just to kind of piggyback on what you guys were saying, so I was traveling around the country doing private lessons, and that's all I was doing. I was literally just traveling around doing private lessons. And in the last 2.5 years, I've done in the ballpark of 400 private lessons by video, live stream video. I was doing those when I was in Colorado because there's only so many players in Colorado. Since the quarantine hit, I'm now doing 1 or 2 private lessons a day by video. So that's been fortunate. So, and I'm not even advertising. It's all coming in word of mouth. I'm like the word's out that I'm pretty good at this. So that has been that I can do under quarantine.
Wow.
So I guess like that's why
I can understand why you went to Texas.
Lucky.
There's a lot of players that need help down there.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
Is it true that the reason Texas doesn't fall into the Gulf of Mexico is because Oklahoma?
Well, I tell you what, it's always windy here in Oklahoma, and there's a reason why. I won't go into it online because it's just not polite, but I'm sure they'll be bringing plenty of wind up with you, so it'll be almost like normal.
I love this, man. He's jabbing you, but he's doing it in a very, very classy way. I mean, that's just, I mean, you've got the Junkyard Dog versus, I keep saying this, but it reminds me like WCW versus NWO. Like, you're the golden boy. You're like Ron. You're like Lex Luger, and you're like you're Scott. You're like what was Scott? What's his name? Like it was with Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, or like or Kevin Nash. You're pretty tall too. So, but I feel like I'm so invested because I was always into like Diamond Dallas Page, Lex Luger, those guys that were standing up for doing the right thing and all that, and rooting against the NWO, and this has all of that. I'm so emotionally invested in this.
So I do pro wrestle. I'm a heel manager. I wrestle. I'm a heel wrestler. When I do promotions, I'm a heel. It is way more fun to be a heel than a baby face. I will always play the bad guy role because if I put butts in the seats, or in this case, if I can put money into the GoFundMe account, I will do it. I'll say whatever I have to do to get people to bet against me. So I'm telling you, Oklahoma fans, I will keep poo-pooing. That's my PC version. I will keep poo-pooing on Oklahoma until the Oklahoma fans bet enough money to shut me up. And when you put enough money on Ron, I'll shut up. But until then, roll Tide.
Careful, we're in Tennessee. That's going to start another fight.
Wait. I didn't realize Tennessee had a team since Heath Schuler.
Yeah, I mean, that's up for some debate, I guess. The Titans did okay this year.
Yeah, I did pretty. I reached back. I know my Tennessee football, and because I did not go with the obvious one. There was low hanging fruit there, which I left and went. So I know my stuff, and if the people in Tennessee want to bet against me, roll Tide.
There you go. You have it here, folks. He's an Alabama man. So, and Alabama, I mean, maybe, hey, this is your boy. Get those donations, get those bets.
No, right. For all intents and purposes, for this match, I'm a Texan for the next month.
Okay, Texas versus Oklahoma. That makes sense.
I'm going to bring
easy money that way.
Yeah, Texas and Nebraska. So I'm a asking hard, but I'm a Texas in geography right now. A Texan in geography, and yeah, we're coming to Oklahoma.
Nice.
So
we're not as public.
for anybody that's interested, you said you were in the market for some more sponsorship, some more support for this event in terms of prizes and stuff like that that you can give out to folks that are supporting by making bets. What is that going to look like for somebody that's interested in donating some prizes? Do you need a certain amount?
Yeah, basically, here's what we need. First off, if anybody wants to donate, it's fantastic. If you donate, you'll be talking about you on videos. We'll give you some promotion. It should be with all donations, it should always be symbiotic, right? I mean, too small. The amounts are too small for it to be taxed right off. Right? We'll promote your company. We'll promote your brand. We want a lot of smaller things. It doesn't really do us a whole lot of good. We wouldn't turn it down. We can raffle them off and raise some money, but for the most part, we need something. So you want to donate 30 or 40 or something? That's perfect, because every single person that picks correctly, like whoever, picks me by 4 strokes they're going to clean up. And all those people are going to split. We need enough of those prizes, but we're also going to be charging money to watch the match. Of course, all the money, same thing. It's all going to go to the pool. But if we have prizes that we can give out to those people that show up, like there's going to be a throwing clinic and there's going to be all sorts of things that come with the donation to come watch our match in person. This is all, by the way, contingent upon quarantine. We're playing all that by ear because we have to.
Yes, we.
But anyways, having things that we can give out to give people, the more money we can charge people to come watch the match, the more money we're going to raise. And we're doing it all with the things people are giving out and the things we're donating ourselves.
That's awesome. That's great. Yeah.
So contact me, contact Ron, or contact Avery. It doesn't matter. We're all in communication. You can contact any of us and let us know. And then if there's some promotional, do you want us to link you up on the website? Do you want us to talk about you on the videos? Tell us what you want us to do. We will give you our time back in exchange for things we can do to raise money. Our time is what we have to offer.
So you heard that, guys. For everybody here, I mean, I know this is a Nashville-centric show, but we've got our finger on the pulse of some big things that are going on in the disc golf world. And so if you're a regional or smaller or local retailer, or somebody, that's trying to get their foot in the door with an apparel business or custom stamps, custom dyes, stuff like that, if you're trying to get established and get your name out there, develop a following, then this is a great opportunity. You guys reach out to Scott or Ron or Avery and get some products in there so you can be a part. I mean, and that's another thing too, man, is this is just one of those great opportunities to be a part of doing something good in the world and representing disc golf by doing that. You know what I mean? That's disc golf making a positive change in the world.
Yeah, which we've been doing for about 45 years now.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, this game is so much to so many, and that's another good question. Is this going to be? I mean, and I know that it's probably could be looked at a certain way, either however you consider it. But is this gonna be specifically for like geared toward disc golfers that are on hard times because of all this, or is it just you're just looking for anybody that's in need?
I think we're open to whatever comes in front of us. Like we're not putting people in a box. You don't have to be a pro shop owner or a PDGA member. I don't think that's going to be related to our decision. It's about people. We're all people.
Yeah.
Obviously, this will go before more disc golfers probably than anybody else. Whenever they, they're probably going to be the ones that hear about it. And I hope that the folks that do hear about it and know someone that really can use it and that would make a big difference, that they are the ones that get turned in and hopefully, yeah, I hope that they're based loosely around our community. But, that's who's going to hear about it.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what I just noticed? When I see Ron on the video, like it appears to be twilight, which is such a great metaphor for his career.
Oh.
Nice. The golden years, right? That's awesome. So you're in the artificial light while I'm actually outside where it's real.
Yeah, doing work, getting your hands dirty. Tell them.
Yeah, and that's sort of a reflection upon our match because, you're in artificial, yeah, and I'm actually living it. But, that's all right, Scott. Come on up.
These hands are so smooth
and soft.
These hands have never done a day's hard work in their life, and they're proud of it.
I believe it.
All right. Well, once again, and I'm throwing up a little image here for everybody to see the flyer for this showdown at high noon with Scott Stokely and Ron Convers. So there is a way, no matter who you are, where you're at, what your circumstances or background is, there is a way for you to get involved in this and help be a part of helping some folks. So if you, first of all, everybody, the link to the GoFundMe page for this will be in our social media posts, which I'll blast everybody as soon as we get this done, and I'll get the YouTube video up and all that stuff and get this on our audio podcast. And I'll include the GoFundMe page. So you guys look for the GoFundMe link, get on there, make your bets on who you've got by how many strokes. Whoever's guessing correctly is going to make out like a bandit with all sorts of sweet plastic and other accessories. Earlier, Scott was showing us some nice Costa Plus.
I'm sorry, can I jump in?
Yeah.
Let me go and be just real specific about this. So the way it works is you can pick which one is going to win by how many strokes for $20. By the way, you can also pick tie. Okay. You can pick for $40. You can make 3 picks. 2 for Ron, 1 for me, 3 for Ron, 3 for me, whatever you want. You make 3 picks for $40. For $100, you can pick either Ron or me, and that'll include ties. So for $100, you can have Ron or a tie, or you can pick me and a tie. And for $200, you simply have picked every possible outcome and you win. So there are options. So for $100, you can actually just pick one of us. And boy, if a bunch of Oklahoma people put $100 on Ron, that would shut me up.
So let me get this straight. For $20, they can pick me and win. Or for $40, they can pick me 3 times and get 3 times the prizes. For $150, they can pick me, and if you get lucky, we'll have a tie. They still win. And for $200, it doesn't matter whether you get lucky or not. They're winners, right?
Pretty close. $100 is, but
I thought it was like that.
Oh my God, it's good. So I feel so bad to lose on your home turf. Ron is that's gonna be so embarrassing for you. Like, I never lose in Colorado. Like, I can't imagine how it's gonna feel to lose to a Texan when you're in Oklahoma.
Man, I know there's some really good Colorado players. I do. And there's at least one master who I've seen. I think he's like 1030 rated, and he is a wonderful player. I can't remember his name right now. Yeah, he's good though.
Hey, let me tell you something, Ron. There are some good golfers in Colorado. There's this kid named Eagle McMahon. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how good Eagle McMahon is. We only faced each other once in a tournament, and he literally came within 1 stroke of beating me. I mean,
wow.
that guy is good.
Was that back when he was 14?
That's irrelevant.
14 and a half. There's a lot of experience and wisdom in that half. Don't leave off the half.
I don't need the half for Scott.
Oh, Ron.
I'm headed indoors, guys. The mosquitoes are getting killer out here.
Yep, I'm seeing it's getting dark out there anyway. So, yes, I'll wrap that up, guys. You can get involved by placing bets, making picks, and winning prizes. Also, if you've got prizes that you would like to donate to make a part of this, contact Ron, Scott, or Avery. And if you know somebody that needs some help, that is on hard times because of the pandemic and the shutdown, also contact them and let them know so that they can start reviewing those cases and make the best selections on who can benefit from this money the most.
Yep.
Any last-minute trash talking, guys? Any
Well,
more zingers, Ron?
It's really simple. All you need to do is bet on me and win. You can come up with maybe the wind won't blow. Maybe it'll be dead calm, and I'll only beat Scott by a few. I don't know. it could be a pretty big stroke change if we get a little wind up here. And I understand Scott's going to bring some with him. I've heard him talking.
Yeah, and I have one last thing to say.
Shoot.
Ron Convers is a great kisser. And just by saying those words, at least we'll think that wasn't a joke. So guess what, Ron? There's at least, I don't know how many people out there now that think we've kissed.
Yeah, especially because at least on my end, so I'm assuming it made it through to the recording and the stream, but right after you said Ron Convers is a great kisser, your audio cut out. And so then you came back and just in time to say, so everybody just heard me say that Ron Convers is a great kisser. So I feel like that was pretty...
Yeah, so for the rest of your life, Ron, 2% of the people listening to this are going to think that was true, and you'll never be able to take that back.
Well, no, it is true that I am a great kisser. There's no doubt about it. My wife will tell you the same. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's experience. You've known that I've been a great kisser for years. You've seen my wife. Shoot, that's how it goes.
There's no shame in his game.
Uh-uh.
Well, all right, guys. Thanks again, man. This has been a lot of fun for me, just to kind of help push this message out there. One last time, I'll throw up the picture here, the flyer for Stokely versus Convers 2020. So June 6th. Tune in, tune on. Yeah, and this is going to be fun. So everybody get involved. Go to the GoFundMe. Support it. If you've got prizes, let them know. If you know somebody that needs help, let them know. And if any other developments come up, guys, holler at me. We'll push it out on the airwaves for sure.
Yep, bet on Ron Convers and shut me up. That's all I want. Bet against me.
And everybody in Alabama has to come along. So.
Or bet on me and win. But either way, somebody's going to win.
Gentlemen.
Thanks for the support, as always.
Yes, thank you guys for coming on, and we'll do it again soon.
It'll be a pleasure to see you there.
Absolutely. Awesome, man. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Let the bass kick.